The night was still, the air heavy with a sense of anticipation as I set up the Ouija board in my dimly lit room. The planchette rested on the board, its polished surface gleaming in the candlelight. Nervous excitement coursed through me as I placed my trembling fingers on the planchette, my heart pounding in rhythm with my anticipation. With a deep breath, I began to ask questions, my voice barely a whisper in the quiet room. The planchette moved, its movement hesitant at first, then gaining momentum as it spelled out words that seemed to defy explanation. My skepticism wavered, replaced by a growing unease that tightened its grip on my senses. The responses became more coherent, the planchette spelling out words and phrases that sent shivers down my spine. And then, with a jolt, the planchette spelled out a name. My father's name. My breath caught in my throat, my heart skipping a beat as a surge of emotion flooded through me. "Is this really you, Dad?" I whispered, my voice quivering. The planchette moved again, spelling out yes. Tears welled up in my eyes as I felt a mix of joy and sorrow wash over me. The connection I had longed for was seemingly within reach, and my fingers trembled with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. For hours, I conversed with the entity that claimed to be my father, asking questions only he would know the answers to. The responses were accurate, eerily so, and I was overcome with a sense of comfort that I hadn't felt in years. The planchette moved effortlessly, spelling out words that seemed to transcend the realm of the living. But then, as the night wore on, a subtle change began to creep into the atmosphere. The air grew colder, and an unsettling tension settled in the room. The planchette's movements became erratic, its messages growing cryptic and ominous. My heart raced as I sensed a malevolent presence lurking just beyond the veil of my perception. "Dad? You still here?" I asked, my voice trembling. The planchette moved, but the response was not what I expected. It spelled out words that struck terror into my heart. "I am not your father." What? A wave of panic washed over me, and I snatched my fingers away from the planchette as if it were a scalding hot surface. The room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and the air grew heavy with a palpable dread. It was then that I realized I had unknowingly invited something far more sinister into my presence. The planchette began to move on its own, its motions quick and deliberate. It spelled out words that twisted my insides into knots, taunting me with secrets that no one else could know. But the most horrifying revelation was yet to come. The entity claimed to be a demon, a deceiver that reveled in tormenting the living. Panic surged through me, and I desperately tried to sever the connection by pushing the planchette away. But it was as if an invisible force held me captive, its grip unyielding. The planchet continued to move, its words weaving a tapestry of malevolence and despair. And then, with a final chilling message, the planchet spelled out, "You will never escape me." The room plunged into darkness, the candle snuffed out by an unseen force. I was enveloped in an all-encompassing void, the sensation of being watched by countless malevolent eyes overwhelming me. I screamed, a primal sound that echoed in the darkness as the room seemed to close in around me. Hours passed. Or perhaps it was mere moments. I lost all sense of time. And then, as abruptly as it had begun, the darkness lifted, and I found myself alone in my room once more. The Ouija board lay discarded on the floor, the planchet resting motionless beside it. But the twist in this tale is not one of closure. It is a realization that the encounter with the demon was not a mere isolated incident. Its influence lingers, a malevolent spectre that haunts my every waking moment. The line between reality and nightmare blurs, and I am left to question my own sanity as I struggle to discern where the demon ends and I begin. As I sit here, the memory of that fateful night etched into my consciousness, I'm haunted by the lingering question. Can I ever truly escape the clutches of the demon, or have I become forever entwined in a web of darkness that defies all reason and logic? It's now nighttime. My head rests against the cold side of the pillow. A gentle breeze blows against my face as I begin to drift off, my eyes closing, and I slowly fall asleep. I can hear something. It's my father's voice. I call out to him. Dad. Dad. Please tell me it's you. Just silence. Nothing but silence. Dad. Dad, please.
I told you I'm not your